Welcome to the Rick Dollar Show podcast. Here's a guy who thought those voices in his head sounded familiar. Your host, Rick Dollar.
Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show. And my guest today is Miss Molly Tuttle. Molly,
hello.
How are you? Man,
I'm great. Thanks for having me back.
I'm just
home in Nashville, getting ready to leave again for the weekend. We're doing a fun festival in Florida called Halloween, so we're going to be dressing up in our costumes. But yeah, I've just kind of been like, I think I've been home for 4 or 5 days now. This is the longest I've been home in months, so I'm like soaking it in. It's so nice.
I don't blame you, man. It's a touring schedule that you've had this year is phenomenal. I mean, you're all over the place, and
I know we're going everywhere.
I know, and it's great to see that because
Thanks.
I love what you're doing with this new record. Also,
thank you.
So long, Little Miss Sunshine. Give me some idea of what that means. Is there a meaning behind that?
Yeah, I came up with the title. It's a line in one of the songs off the record. The song is called Old Me, New Wig, and that's the first line of the chorus is So Long, Little Miss Sunshine. It's the song is all about like breaking up with, your anything, I guess, that you need to let go of, but the hook of the song is breaking up with the old me. So it's kind of like you're reinventing yourself is basically the gist of the song. It also has a fun line in it. I got a new wig to get you out of my hair. And I've been wearing wigs since I was, probably 15. I started wearing wigs because I have alopecia,
right?
Which if anyone is unfamiliar, it's like an autoimmune disease where your hair falls out. So I've become very comfortable with, talking about my hair and my different wigs. And I thought it would be kind of a fun concept for the record since a lot of the songs are sort of telling this story of almost like coming of age or coming into yourself a little bit more. And it is a stylistic departure. I felt like that title would reflect, some of the changes that you hear in the record, but also just kind of this message of being confident in your own skin, being, I think like sometimes at the shows I've been talking about how I'm like a recovering people pleaser. So I feel like saying so long to, that part of yourself that's like trying to be the sunshine for everyone else and maybe, making your own sunshine for yourself.
Well, I think you're carrying it around in buckets.
Thanks.
Because I'm sure that people with alopecia look up to you and how you are doing everything to put your face out there and bring attention to this disease and how you're handling it. But not everybody does that,
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I never really saw, I didn't have too many like role models with alopecia who are being outward about it on stage or really in the public eye too much. And now there's a bit more of that, but it's still often like a misunderstood condition. People think you're sick when really it doesn't actually affect your physical health, but it can really affect your mental health to feel like you're kind of getting judged for your appearance all the time and people don't really get what's going on or whatever. So I think the only way to combat that is just to like bring awareness to it. So that's become important to me. And it's also just like a thing of, I don't really have a choice in the matter. Like I look the way I look and I can either choose to like wear a wig all the time or like not wear it sometimes or not wear it all the time. So it's like, how do I manage that? And I have a lot of fun wearing wigs. So I'm just kind of doing what feels fun and exciting to me. And then I've always like, I want to keep always the focus on the music, but it is like a thing I kind of can't like avoid because it's literally just how I look. It's the first thing people notice about me when I'm not wearing hair. So yeah, it's just something I've had to navigate and taken baby steps with getting more comfortable with it.
Oh, you're handling it, man.
Thanks.
I saw a stage shot the other day. I'm not sure who you were playing with, but it was in the middle of a solo or something, man, and you just reached up and just chucked the wig out in the crowd. And I was like, that is a way to make people know how you feel.
Well, it's fun because now I have a song about wig. I've never had written a lyric about wearing a wig before, and now I have one, so I can use that as like a fun moment in the show. I want to get people wearing wigs at the shows. We've thought about maybe like buying some of those costumey little fun wigs and just like throwing them out and trying to get people to wear them and have fun with it too. But we have had some people come out to the shows who have alopecia and they'll rip off their wigs during the show too in the crowd. Cool. So I'm like, I'm encouraging that if anyone wants to come out to the show and wear a wig or just to have
Have some
fun in
fun
one
with
way or
it.
another.
Hey, I was watching something the other day, Ringo and Friends at the Ryman,
Hmm.
and it was really cool because I watched him play his first song with Jack White, which was a really good song. I can't even remember what it was, but then the second song was really cool too. It was
Hmm.
you and Ringo Starr and Emmylou Harris, and I can't remember who else was on the stage with you guys.
Hmm.
Um, Mickey Guyton, maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
possible. Yeah,
I think was it like the end where everyone kind of came back out? I remember Emmy Lou
yeah.
like brought us all out. It was so fun. There were so many amazing guests at that show. Sheryl Crow was there, Billy
Oh
Strings was
man.
there, Larkin Poe, Sarah Jarosz, Rodney Crowell. It was a whole host. Warren Treaty was there. It was just this incredible group of musicians in Nashville. T-Bone Burnett put it all together, and
Oh yeah.
I just felt like I was like, how what? I'm like in the cool kids group, Nashville group. Like it was like all my favorite musicians in town. It seemed like were on stage together with Ringo. I couldn't believe that I got to be there. It was just a huge honor.
Well, what I thought was really cool, I was watching you three up there, up on the stage, and Ringo went into something, I don't know, a line or two about whatever he was singing, and you just did one of these numbers, and you just stared. I mean, you just locked, and I was sitting there thinking, she's freaking out. She really
Yeah.
wants to freak out, but she can't right now. And you
I was
know,
freaking out inside, yeah.
yeah, but you deserve that. I mean, you and I talked the first time. We talked about how, your dad um went into a guitar store in
Mhm.
California, and finally they asked him to start giving lessons. And
Yeah.
after that, you kind of picked it up. And
Hmm.
it's amazing to me. I mean, I saw another little clip the other day of you and Billy on stage, and he was just in awe. He was, and that's a guy you want to be in awe of what you're doing with the
Oh,
guitar. And
he's so
I
sweet.
thought, man, all these great things are happening for her. I mean, you have a great band. You guys are hitting the road. You're burning it up. You got a new record. Shelby Means was an artist I think that should have gotten a little more press this year. But
Yeah, well, I'm so happy for her with her
yeah,
album. It's so good. I got to sing on it. We actually recorded a vocal on tour last year, and we were in this little hotel room, and I was like, because it was so hard to find the time to do it in a proper studio because we were hitting the road so hard.
yeah.
So we like crammed into a little hotel room on tour. I got to sing on a record. It's a great record. Everyone should go check it out. She's been playing with her own band a bunch this year. And I've kind of started a new band as well. So like her and Bronwyn are both pursuing their solo careers, and it's been really awesome to see how they're both finding so much success with that. And I'm sure we'll team up again in the
Oh
future,
man.
but for now it's just fun for me to get to see them do their thing and have their records reach so many people and just see all the fun things they're up to.
Well, you think about this now, you were around all these people, Emmylou Harris. I mean, all of these great artists, Sheryl Crow, legendary people in this business. And you've all kind of taken the genre lines and just erased them. And you're all working together to do these things. I think female artists this year have been the biggest surprise and
Oh, cool.
the best surprise in the music industry. Now, I mean, you guys have, like I said, you're kind of paving the way, and so kudos.
We're trying to. But yeah, we're all just trying to like, make music that we're excited about. And I think on like when you get on the other side of it with like the labels and um the streaming services and this and that, like
Hmm.
then they want to say this is this genre, put it all in categories, but I feel like on the other side is all us artists and we just want to like play together and have fun and like not
Exactly.
always be thinking about it.
How long did it take? How long did it take to tape that Ringo show? I mean, was that like over a few nights
It
or
was 2 nights. So
was
at
it
the
really?
Ryman, we had a week of rehearsals leading up to it. And so we were rehearsing, and that's when I first met Ringo. We had played on we'd made the record in the spring, and I got to play on some of that, but it was all kind of, he was in LA, we were in Nashville recording the instrumental parts and singing some harmonies.
Yeah.
And then T-Bone over the summer was like, hey, we're going to do these shows at the Ryman. Will you be part of it? I was like, of course. One of them was on my birthday. I was like, this is the best birthday ever. So the 14th and 15th January, this last January, those were the dates where we played the Ryman. And the first night, well, we had a night even before. On the 13th, we did our dress rehearsal. So we ran through everything with Ringo on stage at the Ryman, no audience, but they were filming it. And then the next night was our first performance. And then we had a third one where we were really more dialed and less nervous. I think everyone was still, even though we had the dress rehearsal the first night, we were still figuring out what was going on.
Oh yeah.
Because there were so many people coming on and off stage. We're like, what's the flow? Like, who's bringing everyone on and off? So it was really good we had the second night, because then everyone was we knew what to expect, we were relaxed, and everyone knew kind of like the order of things. And so that was really fun to just have both nights. I think they probably ended up taking most of the footage from the second night. Maybe some of the performances were better the first night, but I think the second night was just more like people were more settled in and
right.
Just having more fun and less frantic energy.
Exactly. T-Bone Burnett, man, that's another huge. I mean, you're not as old as I am, okay? But T-Bone Burnett is legendary.
Yeah, I've loved his music since I was a little kid.
Oh my gosh, man. Cat, I mean, he has been the guy he's been the glue sometimes that's held a lot of these things together.
Yeah, he is a master at putting stuff together that really means something, and he has like just an ear for putting the perfect combinations of people together to like make these amazing moments. And when I was in kindergarten, I remember he was doing like the Down from the Mountain tour and like the Oh Brother Where Art Thou stuff. And my dad let me see the movie as a little kid, even though it was probably like sort of inappropriate to watch as like a 6-year-old. But the music was like, I was obsessed with it. And that was my first introduction to T-Bone Burnett. And my dad is a huge T-Bone Burnett fan. He said he's the best producer. Like all my life, he's been like hoping I would someday get to work with T-Bone, I think, ever since I decided I wanted to make records and be a professional musician. He's like, T-Bone is the absolute top. Like, and so we're all huge fans in my family. So my dad got to meet him at Telluride Bluegrass 2 years ago, because he was backstage there and we had been working on the Ringo stuff. And my dad was so happy to meet T-Bone. It was like his dream come true. And as was I. Like, getting to work with him was just like another level of like, this is totally something that, I like dreamed would happen someday, but maybe never like dared to think that it actually would, I guess.
You'd be surprised sometimes what'll happen in this life.
Yeah.
So, oh brother, did that do anything to you? Is that something that made a mark on you? I think it brought back the beauty of bluegrass and old time music to another huge generation. I think it kind of helped out,
Yeah, it was one of those big moments in this genre where like suddenly everyone was aware of roots music and bluegrass music, and it made me like, I loved the music in that movie. And it, even as a little kid, it made me think like, this is actually really cool. Like, I listened to bluegrass at home with my family all the time and I played guitar, but like suddenly kids at my school were like humming the songs from the movie, and like it just framed it in this way to make it seem like really cool. And so I watched that Down from the Mountain documentary all the time, and everyone in it was like my biggest hero. And that's kind of like how I got into Emmylou Harris and Alison Krauss and Gillian Welch. Like, their trio together was like, I was just obsessed as a kid, and that's like such an impressionable time to see something like that. And so the three of them became like some of my biggest heroes. And then but yeah, and it also actually, like, I think it helped my family too, because suddenly my dad had so many more students who wanted to learn bluegrass music, and he was like teaching Man of Constant Sorrow to everyone in the Bay Area. So his business was booming for my dad during that time too. So it was like actually good for our family as well.
You kind of credit your dad a little bit with how things have gone with you musically in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would be. I've always loved music, but like at the same time, I feel like I was sort of brainwashed to love it because as a little kid, like my earliest memories are like my dad having jam sessions around the house. There were instruments lying around all over the place. He would always try to make it really easy for anyone to like pick up an instrument around the house. So we just had guitars on the couches and hanging on the walls, and like he was always kind of just sitting around in the living room, like singing and playing. So it just was kind of a natural part of growing up. But I had like a really intense like draw to play music as well. So, um, yeah, but I don't know if I would have like gotten into bluegrass if it weren't for my dad and like he kind of picked it up through my grandfather who played the banjo, and like my
Yeah.
dad grew up on a farm in Illinois. They would like drive down to Nashville, go to the Grand Ole Opry, and go to bluegrass festivals around Illinois as well. So, um, then he moved out, he moved to California because he wanted to like see the David Grisman quintet. So he moved to the Bay Area.
Oh, that was the way to do it right there.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, we're missing
Yeah.
you at Randy Wood's Old Time Picking Parlor. I guess
Oh,
we'll kind of announce this while I'm talking to you.
okay.
Randy and I are going in partnership on a podcast studio.
Oh, cool.
So if you're ever in town, we can set you down in a nice place and
Yeah,
do a
I would
little
love to.
podcast episode. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, and it
Totally.
brings all the artists that used to come there. It's
Hmm.
bringing them back, So,
Great. Okay. Yeah,
that's a
count
cool
me in
thing.
next time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, I'm telling you, I just really don't understand sometimes why things happen the way they happen. But with what you've had to do in your life and the things you have to go through, um, you've handled it beautifully. I
Thank
mean,
you.
most people don't do that. But
Oh,
it shows people's strength sometimes, I think, when they have to deal with these things. But you know, being on the Ryman, how many times now? How many times have you played the
I
Ryman?
have lost track.
That's what I was saying. What about you've been on the Grand Ole Opry too,
I
correct?
have. I think I've been on the Opry like 11 or 12 times now because I remember a couple times ago they gave me a mug that had the number 10 on it and they were like, it's your 10th Opry. I was like, oh, thank you. I didn't really know that I'd been on there 10 times, but so I think I've done it a couple times since then. So probably like 12 times by now.
So do you have to pinch yourself sometimes and say,
Yeah.
what am I doing here? Why, because I know how artists are. A lot
Mhm.
of times people that are artists have a really not negative connotation about what they do, but they push themselves a little more than everybody else around them sometimes to do better.
Yeah, well, it's kind of that sort of career where like you
Yeah.
don't, there's so much uncertainty, and in that, like, you can really develop so many worries. Like for me, I'm like such a worry wart. I'm always like, what if I never like get a gig again? What if like my career is like, I don't know. Like
You
for
should
me, I'm always
never
kind of thinking of like the worst possible scenario. So
you should
I have to
never worry
remind
about that gig thing, okay? I think you're
I
good.
have to remind myself that like I've gotten to do all these cool things, and like,
Yeah.
even if like I stopped doing this tomorrow, like I've still gotten to do so many of my biggest dreams have come true. So obviously I'm planning on continuing to do this for my whole life
I got you.
if I can. But I just feel grateful that I'm able to, and like even if I was even if these things hadn't happened, I would still just, be content to play music, and if I can like make a living doing that, it's pretty awesome. So
Yeah, I don't think you'll have any problem with that. I don't think you'll have any problem with that. Let's talk about this powerhouse you used to have hanging around with you all the time, Shelby Means.
Yeah.
What exactly is her motivation, do you think, with this record? Because it's like she came out of the gate with both barrels blazing,
Yeah. Well,
and I was like, whoa, hold on. You're probably gonna have a longer career than that, But dang.
Yeah, the record to me was like a surprise too because I heard it and I was like, I didn't know you had all these amazing songs. Some of them she'd written like a while ago and just had kind of sitting around waiting for the right time to record. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like I'm just really glad she finally got it all out there in the world and like worked with these world-class musicians. On the record, there's some great players on there, and it was just like her dream to make this bluegrass record. So I think like the stars just aligned for her to make her first solo record, and it's crazy that like
Mhm.
that was her first one, and it's like so good.
Now, word on the street is that you used to be roommates with Billy Strings.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah, we
that
were roommates
rumor
for about a year and
true?
a half. It is, yeah.
So how was that? You know?
It was really fun. Yeah, like the that happened. It was when I first moved to Nashville. I was living in actually Madison, which is kind of like it's basically in Nashville, but it's like kind of the north of Nashville.
Mhm.
I lived there for I moved to Nashville 10 years ago, lived in Madison for about a year, and then I was like I felt like I was too far outside of town. All my friends lived in East Nashville. Um, and I just was struggling. I felt kind of isolated. I didn't actually really have that many close friends in Nashville. I had a lot of acquaintances, but I was kind of feeling lonely in my little house far away in Madison. So I happened to be like looking for a new place to live. And I was just on Facebook and I'd met Billy maybe one or two times just at festivals.
Mhm.
Um, and obviously was a big fan of his music. And I saw that he posted on Facebook, like me and my girlfriend are looking for someone to rent our third bedroom in our house in East Nashville. So I messaged him and I didn't really know him that well, but I was like, I'm looking for a place. And I went and looked at it. I was like, yeah, this looks great. So yeah, I moved into their place that they were renting, and I think they found their house because our other friend Lindsay Lou, who's a great singer, I'm sure you know her
Yeah.
music. She's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But she had a house that she was renting across the street, and she noticed that this other house came up available for rent. So she had told Billy, and then I found out through him. So she really kind of was like bringing this whole community together. She would have house concerts, jam sessions. She was
Wow.
always renting out rooms of her house to different musicians. So it was this whole kind of rotating cast of people over on the other side of the street. And then we had our house. So it was really fun because suddenly I had like this built-in community just on
Right.
my block, basically. So I went from just feeling so like I didn't know what I was doing and like I was living so far away, I felt like, to then like people were just hanging out all the time. So it was awesome. Um, I was pretty, I was traveling a lot. Billy was doing a ton of shows. So a lot of the time he wasn't even home, but I would hang out with Allie a lot and Lindsay, and we would, anytime people were home, we would just kind of get together and sometimes play music or just hang out.
Yeah.
So it was always really fun. And that was kind of how I found my people in Nashville, because it was hard when I moved there to just kind of break into the scene because everyone is so busy and people are touring all the time, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like that. It's not a it feels like a small town once you're in it, but like it can also feel a little bit daunting, because everyone's such a great musician, everyone's has their thing going on, and yeah.
It's sort of like a psychological thing, though, I think,
Yeah.
because, what you're telling me here is once you had all these people rotating through there, how many people were
I
you
know.
were you exposed to that may have had some kind of something that you could take from them,
Hmm.
that would allow you to, maybe do what you want to do for a living.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was just a great way to meet people. I met people who ended up touring with me,
Yeah.
um and who I would co-write with or just this and that or record with. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Just
awesome.
lifetime people that, kind of help shape your future,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, well,
Mhm.
they say things happen for a reason. So,
Yep.
uh, so okay. So what's going on in the future? I mean, your touring schedule is, well, I mean, I don't see how you do it. I mean,
This
how,
was
how old are you now? I
I'm
mean,
32.
okay. Now, when you be, 10 years from now, you think you'll be doing the same thing?
So I think 10 years from now I would probably play I'm hoping to play less shows. I always want to tour and I
Bigger
always want
shows.
to make records, but I don't know if I always want to do 100 shows a year
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's a lot. It's like it does make it hard to like have a life. So I think like eventually, I don't know if in 10 years or 15 years or what, but I would maybe want to do a few less shows a year, but I'll probably always be playing a lot of shows.
Well,
But yeah, for now, like this year, it was kind of funny because last year I played more shows. At the end of the year, I always count up how many shows I've done. I did 120 last year. This year I'm doing 90, but I didn't start until April this year, so it got smushed into most of it was in the fall. I think we were doing like 70 shows this
Dang.
fall or something crazy like that. So it was the most intense touring in a short period of time I think that I've ever done.
Yeah.
And it's gone good. Like I think our first tour was about 3.5 weeks long, and it was awesome. Like we did it. I think we were all tired by the end, obviously. But the crew was great. Like the band, we all get along, and like none of us hated each other by the end. We were like,
That's good.
yeah, we were ready to go home for a few days, but like the shows were really fun, and I think having the new music out made it just exciting to kind of share these songs, and like the crowds have learned the new songs more and more, so now they're like singing along. That's really, it's just kind of fun to see how that develops when you put out a new record, like which
Yeah, you
songs
gotta
they end
love
up
that.
gravitating towards. Um, so yeah, it's been awesome. But yeah, it's like I have to be really careful not to wear myself out and like just get enough sleep. I don't like do anything crazy on tour. Like I'm super boring. I try to go to bed early-ish, although it's hard for me to like fall asleep right after playing a show, but I
Yeah.
don't drink on tour. I don't like go out and party or anything
That's
because I don't
good.
think I physically could.
Longevity, that's probably a good thing in the music business. So you want to give everybody a shout out you've been dragging around the country with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so my band is awesome. They're made up of four other musicians touring with me. Vanessa McGowan plays bass.
Right.
And she was the first person I asked about touring with me, and she plays upright and electric bass and also just helped me put together the rest of the band. She's a great band leader. She is always thinking of ways to kind of make the show better, and listening back. We get recordings of the shows each night. She'll always listen back and like send out notes and this and that. So it's been really helpful to have someone like that to help work on the set list together, and just someone to bounce ideas off of. So I think like the shows have been getting better and better, which is really exciting. And then Megan Jane is playing drums with me, and she'll play like full drum kit on a lot of stuff. And then we do kind of like a breakdown acoustic bluegrass set in the middle, and we'll do like some stuff totally acoustic, and then some where she'll come out and like play the washboard. And she's
Oh,
someone I
that's
actually
cool.
toured with yeah, it's really fun. I toured with her in 2021 coming out of the pandemic. So she's been a long time friend. Ellen Angelico is someone I've known for a long time as well. She has worked at a bunch of different guitar shops around Nashville. She plays so many different instruments, but with me, she's been doing pedal steel and dobro and electric guitar.
Oh, yeah.
She also plays like banjo and all this other stuff too, and
Wow.
keys. She's great, just like a really fun
She's
and
like
super
your
talented
secret
person.
weapon, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah, I can just
Play anything.
Yeah, I know. I have to like, I try not to make her life too complicated, but I'm always like suggesting like, how about you play this? How about you play that? And then she's like switching like 10 different instruments. But and then Mary Meyer is she also grew up in the Bluegrass family band just like me, plays mandolin and fiddle really well, and then she also plays keys and a whole myriad of other instruments, and is a wonderful singer. So she's a great person to get to play with for me, just because she kind of has the same musical background, but also stretches out and does so much other styles of music as well. So yeah, it's been really fun. And then we have, I'm trying to do the math, 6 other guys touring with us.
Wow,
So we
that's
have
good
like a
though.
great group. It's kind of funny because the band, it's like an all-female band, and then we have all these like really nice dudes around just like helping us with stuff all the
That's just
time.
what that was done on purpose, I'm sure.
Yeah. None of it was at all intentional, but it's like worked out pretty funny that way.
Well,
People have come up to us after the shows and been like, I love how you have all these men like bringing you guitars and stuff on stage.
that's what you're trying to do. You gotta have men around for something.
I know they're useful for
What my
something.
wife says too. I gotta have you around for something. I don't know what it is yet.
It's pretty funny.
After being married 23 years,
Oh, wow.
yeah, we've been around.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, it was in September was our anniversary.
Oh,
But,
cool.
yeah. So what's going to go on in the future? I mean, you got this touring schedule you're handling, like you're just talking about. You got a great band. I know you're going to be playing as long as you can. But do you think you're going to have some more things like what you did with Ringo?
I hope so.
Man,
that's the sort of thing
too.
you just can't predict, and you just like sometimes I just get a call that's like totally out of the blue like that, and it's like, whoa, okay, yes, I will, do whatever I need to do to make this happen. So I mean, yeah, I hope that would be so cool. I would love to work with him again and do anything else with T-Bone. Like they're both just incredible. So that would be amazing.
That's the guy. I mean,
that's the guy.
If you're going to be involved with anybody, that's the guy, because he's wheels are always turning, and if they're not turning in his head, they're turning in somebody's head, and his name's involved. So
totally.
What do you do? All right, young lady, I'm gonna let you get some rest, and thanks for sitting down with us today.
Thank you.
Sure, everybody's now everybody knows what's going on with Molly Tuttle.
Oh yeah.
All right, Rick.
Thank you so much, Rick.
Yeah, good to see you again.
You too.
Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show, and I've been speaking with the one and only Molly Tuttle.
This has been the Rick Dollar Show podcast. The Rick Dollar Show podcast is produced by Radio Dog Productions. Theme music is written and performed by Jeremy Garrett at garrettgrass.com. The Rick Dollar Show podcast cannot be reproduced or rebroadcast without express written consent from Radio Dog Productions. I'm Kent Jones, and this has been a Radio Dog production.